Hi, I'm Kevin Conroy, and you're watching BatFacts. So stay tuned, or I'll come after you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the quintessential Batman voice, Kevin Conroy. Thank you, sir. Welcome back to BatFacts, where we've reached the conclusion to the series within a series, The Robins. And I'm talking about the most recent Robin, everyone's favorite bastard son, Damian Wayne. The story of how Damian Wayne came to be, and how he came to be Robin, is long and winding, but all roads lead back to Son of the Demon by Mike W. Barr and Jerry Bingham, published in 1987. Though later retconned as an Elseworlds tale, Son of the Demon continues Batman's storied rivalry with Razal Ghul, and is what many say is among their most legendary encounters. Bat Tangent. How to pronounce Razal Ghul, a question that has plagued Batman fans for decades. Okay, real quick. Razal Ghul was created by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams, after some suggestions from Julius Schwartz in 1971. His name is Arabic for the demon's head, and the correct pronunciation is Razal Ghul. But that didn't really matter until the character was introduced in a medium where his name was spoken aloud, namely Batman the Animated Series, where he made his first appearance in late 1992.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am he who is called Ra's al Ghul.
The demon's head. I thought you were only a legend.
I am quite real.
Unfortunately, a precedent was set when the character's name was spoken, and the show's producers went with the pronunciation of a similar Hebrew word, which is pronounced more like Raish. Since then, it has gone back and forth to an almost maddening degree.
Am I pronouncing this right? Mr. Ra's al Ghul?
Ra's al Ghul.
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 Raish, not Raz. A common mistake.
How do you say it? Let me know in the comments. Back to the show. Son of the Demon tells the story of Raz and Talia al Ghul conspiring to combine bloodlines with the only man they see as a worthy successor to their empire, Bruce Wayne. Bruce and Talia have had romantic dalliances before, but this one resulted in the conception of a child. Batman begins to contemplate fatherhood, but Talia soon tells him that in the midst of the story's inevitable fisticuffs, she lost the baby. This is a traumatic blow to their relationship, and Batman leaves for Gotham alone. The story then ends with an infant boy, wearing a necklace Batman had given Talia, being left at an adoption agency. And that's how it was left, for years. But, if you'll forgive the pun, the seed was planted, and despite the non-canon what-if nature of the story, it inspired 3 different writers to pick up the loose thread of Son of the Demon's twist ending for tales of a grown-up child of Bruce and Talia. The first precursor to Damian was named Damian Wayne, who sort of looked like post-resurrection mullet Superman, and was introduced in 1995's Elseworlds tale Brotherhood of the Bat by Doug Moench, and its later sequel League of the Batmen in 2001. These stories focus on Razal Ghul creating an army of Batmen using rejected Batman costumes, and eventually being confronted by Talia, the true heir to the mantle. These stories take place in DC's Earth 85. In Mark Waid's Kingdom Come universe, Earth 22, however you pronounce this, Arabic for son of the bat, and really on the nose, has a small role, and is the son of Bruce and Talia in that universe. Note he inherited the Al Ghul eyebrows. Son of the Demon and the concept of Batman's son clearly piqued the interest of DC's writers for their own Elseworlds tales. But in 2006, Grant Morrison began work on his momentous run on the main Batman title, where he sought to include all of Batman's history into a cohesive life story. Morrison had to have known that Son of the Demon was an Elseworlds story, right?
What this book presupposes is, maybe he didn't?
The very first story of Morrison's run was titled Batman and Son, and introduced Damian to readers and Batman himself in Batman number 655 and 656, respectively. Though Morrison's recalling of the events of Son of the Demon didn't line up exactly with the original story, Batman claims he was drugged senseless and refused to participate in a, quote, eugenics experiment, which jives with the consensual yet no less devious affair that was portrayed in Son of the Demon. We learned that Damian had been born in secret, and raised by the League of Assassins to be a highly trained and ruthless killer, one who is not bound by Batman's rules of engagement. Talia leaves Damian to stay with his father so that they can get properly acquainted. now 10 years old, Damian wastes no time in trying to prove himself to his father with a wave of violence that left even Tim Drake in its wake. And by his third appearance, he had taken Jason Todd's tunic from the Batcave's memorial display and was declaring himself a, quote, new Robin. But this was meant only as a shocking image, not a forebearer of things to come. Damian's story, and indeed Morrison's entire run, was originally much shorter, but expanded outwards as Morrison and readers' enthusiasm grew. On the creation of Damian, Morrison said, "Damian was created to be difficult. He had a bad attitude, but the reason was always to turn him into the son of Batman. I love the idea that he was the son of Batman and the daughter of the world's greatest supercriminal. So part of him is a bad little dude, and the other part of him is the son of Batman. It's an obvious story to tell of this little bad, aristocratic, stuck-up, arrogant snot of a kid suddenly realizing that, wait a minute, part of my genetic heritage is Batman, and then living up to that." Morrison would expand on his son of Batman concept in the milestone Batman number 666, in which he took a break from Bruce Wayne in Gotham to tell a story of future Damian Wayne, who had himself taken up the mantle of Batman. Worth noting is that his costume features a collar, which has fallen into fashion for Batman costumes of late. This possible future of Damian has been returned to a handful of times since. So we know how he came to be, sort of. And we know where he's going, maybe. But this is the Robins, a subsidiary of BatFacts. How did Damian Wayne become a Robin? Well, the one-two punch of Morrison's Batman R.I.P. storyline and the more grandiose Final Crisis event took Batman off the board. Presumed dead by most, without Batman, Gotham City descended into chaos. Villains capitalized on the vacuum made by Batman's absence, and several mass vigilantes made attempts at taking Batman's place. This was 2009's Battle for the Ghul storyline, which, eventually, ended with a hesitant Dick Grayson taking on the role of Batman, and choosing Damian as his Robin. On the selection of Damian as the next Robin, Morrison said, "Dick Grayson led the Teen Titans. He spent his life around young super people going through difficult times in their lives. He completely understood Damian from day one and knew exactly how to guide him without the heavy hand that the boy would have rebelled against. It was a very subtle and nurturing dynamic. By the end, Damian really looked up to Grayson, and Grayson really liked Damian and took his mentorship very seriously," Morrison would say in Batman: A Definitive History. This led to an exciting new dynamic for the dynamic duo, with Damian's brash and violent Robin juxtaposed with Dick Grayson's more lighthearted and spontaneous Batman. This injection of energy led to some of the most well-received Batman and Robin stories of an entire generation, and became one of the defining elements of Morrison's Batman story as a whole. After the inevitable return of Bruce Wayne, Damian would continue as Robin alongside his father, and for a brief time, alongside Dick Grayson as well.
I'm seeing double here. 4 Krusties!
Damian would also briefly join the Teen Titans, once Dick determines that Damian would benefit from having friendships with other heroes, and that he had progressed enough not to require direct supervision. It's this gradual progression into nobility and compassion that shows itself in other ways as well. After one particularly bloody adventure at a slaughterhouse, Damian declares himself a vegetarian, even going so far as to rescue a cow, dubbing him Bat Cow. Though there has been some variation recently, Damian's most recognizable Robin costume featured the standard red tunic over a distinctive black bodysuit, chunky green boots, and a hooded black and yellow cape along with a stylized green domino mask and gloves. Damian Wayne was coming into his own in the role of Robin, but his creator, Grant Morrison, had one more trick up his sleeve before ending his run that began with Damian's introduction. He was going to kill him. Talking to USA Today in 2013, Morrison said, "I was kind of heartbroken when he died. It was horrible because I was always on his side. Damian, for me, he's the character I brought in at the very start of my Batman run, and he's the character who's coming with me at the very end of it. I'll never write that character again, and it was quite weird to do that," Morrison said. And so, in the pages of Morrison's Batman Incorporated, Damian died a hero, and here's how it happened. Confounded by Damian's newfound heroics, his mother Talia begins to clone Damian, making slight changes in an effort to create a Damian Wayne more to her liking. During a battle with Talia's newest sect of the League of Assassins, known as Leviathan, Robin and Nightwing encounter one such Damian clone, who had been brought into adulthood, known as Heretic. When Nightwing falls in battle, Damian bravely steps in to fight Heretic, but is eventually outmatched by the Brute and is impaled. Damian's death sent shockwaves through the Batman books, inspiring a month's worth of tribute covers and sending Batman spiraling through the many stages of grief. But hey, this is comics, where no one ever really dies. And the following year, after Morrison's run was wrapped up, Batman did what he was never able to do with any of the previous dead Robins. He brought this one back. His resurrection even gave him superpowers for a time. He is often paired with Jonathan Kent in the series Super Sons, and had his own series that teamed him with a giant dragon bat named Goliath. He's gone back and forth from being a Teen Titan and even being a Robin. But as of this recording, he is the current Robin in the DCU, a fan favorite, and has the third longest tenure as a Robin behind Dick and Tim. Outside of comics, Damian was quick to be incorporated into Batman product lines. His first LEGO minifig was released in 2014 and featured the stumpier legs generally reserved for hobbits and the like. However, more recent releases have had Damian sporting the medium legs, a leg length introduced with the Harry Potter series to denote teenagers. Damian made his animated debut in the adaptation of Batman & Son in 2014, where he was voiced by Stuart Allen, who would go on to be the most prolific Damian voice actor, bringing Damian to life in 7 feature films and a video game in the preceding 6 years. Actor Jacob Tremblay, known for his roles in Luca and Room,
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
voices Damian in the adult animated Harley Quinn show for HBO Max.
I was raised by an elite group of assassins from birth.
Despite being a fan favorite since his introduction, Damian has never appeared in a live-action project for film or television. And so, Grant Morrison created the modern Robin by subverting what had become tropes of the role. Instead of a subservient sidekick, Damian was insubordinate and brash, but increasingly well-meaning, representing not only a duality of character, but a duality of expectations, with readers getting a front-row view of his struggle towards heroism. So, that's the Robins. There of course have been other temporary Robins like Jarro, or alternate Robins like Drake Winston, and an increasing number of allies that don't become Robins, like Parker Rowe and Duke Thomas, for example. There's also alternate Robins that encompass multiple Robins, like the LEGO Batman version of Dick Grayson or the hard-to-pin-down version shown in Teen Titans Go. But those are the 5 main in-continuity Robins, and Carrie Kelly, because Dark Knight Returns rules. I hope you enjoyed the miniseries, and if you haven't already, check out the other 5 Robins episodes. Thanks for watching. What's your favorite Damian story? Who's your favorite Robin? Let me know in the comments below, and if you can, let me know how you found the channel. I'm on Instagram as BatFacts Videos, where you can follow along for Batman news, episode updates, and collector picks. If you've come this far, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and tell a friend who likes Batman. My thanks once again to Kevin Conroy for the episode intro. Actually, let's hear a little bit more of that.
It's not what you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
So rad. And stay tuned for the next episode of BatFacts, where I'll be looking at Batman and the dark and gritty reboot. Some Bat time, same Bat channel. Thanks for watching.